All right. Hello and welcome back. Brett here with ClickMill.co. In this video, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to get into the final step of the marketing funnel. And this is where we ask for someone to take the action that we desire of them, or our desired action. Okay. Now, this is also what we might call the call to action. And so we've met with the person, we've met them the first time, we've gotten basic information, and we've met a need in the process, usually some kind of a brochure, free call, free tour, schedule, plan my visit, something like that. And then we come through and we start building that relationship. We start winning their trust because we're actually trustworthy. That's the best way to win the trust. And at some point, they go, man, I trust you so much. I just have to commit. And that is the time that we have prepared the next step. And the next step is the call to action. So, for example, when we see Peter, James, and John, Jesus goes to the boat. So he knows who his audience is. He goes to them, he connects, he meets them. Hey, can I use your boat to preach? Okay, sure. And so he's talking on the boats. And then he meets them and then says, hey, push out. Let me meet a deeply felt need. And what do we do here on ClickMill, for example, with the courses? Hey, we want to meet a deeply felt need. It's totally free. Go get these courses and learn about how to reach people and actually get results in ministry without totally just burning yourself out and being exhausted or, overperforming. You don't want to do that. And so, but we're going to teach you skills that you need to be really effective in Christian business or ministry. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Name, email, and phone number. Okay, so in that case, he goes, he gives them a deeply felt need. And then what does he do? Right? He's built the relationship and then he calls them to action. And what does he say? He says, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. And that is the commitment. He is saying, leave everything behind and go with me and live with me and wander the wilderness with me. And I will teach you. And they're like, that's a big win for us. There's a lot of loss, and I think that the miracles really speed this process up. Obviously, they saw him do a crazy miracle. And so they're like, okay, yep, we're in. We trust you. And so they say yes. What happens when Jesus is talking to the woman at the well? He's talking to her. She's like, oh, well, maybe you're just kind of a nice guy. And then she's like, oh, you must be a prophet. And then it dawns on her, oh, you're the Messiah. He's built the trust. And the way he's communicating with her, he's meeting a need. He's telling her about her life, obviously, also in a miraculous way, it seems. And then what does she do? She commits and she goes into the town and she gets everybody. And she says, listen, you won't believe this. And so when we meet the need and we build the trust, people commit. And so when we get to the point that we have built the trust and we have met the need, the next step is to call them to action. You have to ask them to do something. And I got an interesting comment on one of the YouTube videos that we have out. And the pastor was saying, well, hey, this whole need meeting thing is great, but we go out, and we meet needs all the time with the homeless ministry, and, they never come to church. Okay. And what you will see when you look at Jesus is the people who are closest to him, he pours into the most. Who does he give the most time to? Peter, James, and John, right? They get the most access. They're on, they get to view the transfiguration and two other things that I can't think of off the top of my head. And then who gets the most access to Jesus after that? Well, the 12. Why? They committed the most time. They left everything behind to follow him and they live with him all the time. So of course he is going to be pouring into them the most. He gives them the greatest level of understanding. He's sharing parables with the masses. And then after they leave, he's like, well, I'm going to tell you the full meaning because you have more training, you're more equipped, and you can understand it. Okay, so the amount of pouring into that is going to happen is proportionate to the amount of commitment. So when someone comes all the way through this and we say, commit right now and take this action, that is the next step. And this is what separates the ministries and the Christian businesses who are just giving all of their resources away to everyone and struggling to eke by because they're just giving everything away. And ministries that have some boundaries and they're like, hey, we want to bless you. And also, we want to bless you, but you need to follow us. And you need to come this way because we're going this way. And if you want to come with us, we'd love to have you. And if not, have a nice day. And Jesus does this with the rich young ruler. He says, what do I need to do to inherit the kingdom of God? And he says, well, follow the law and the prophets. He goes, I already did that. Oh, okay. We'll go give away all your stuff to the poor and then come follow me. He was a wealthy man and he went away sad. It does not say that Jesus said, well, okay, just kidding. You don't really have to give away your stuff. And actually, walk with me. I've got some coffee. I've got some donuts. I've got this chair over here that's really, really cushy. And we've got like this super cool electric guitarist and all this other stuff. It'll be so comfortable for you. Please, please follow me. It doesn't say he did that. There's no point when it seems like Jesus is interested in the comfort of his disciples. He's training them so that they can go and share the gospel and die. And so the commitment is you have to increase in commitment every step you get closer. And of course, we know that's true in our own relationship with Christ as well. The more you are like Christ, the more you commit to dying to yourself. That is what it is to bear our cross daily. And so all of that to say, when we have built the relationship, we have met those initial needs, it is now time to do a call to action and say, listen, we want to keep this going. We really value you. And also take this call to action. We do that in marriage, right? I really love you. I really care about you. And I want to take this to the next level. I want to know that this is something I can count on. And what do? You propose. And that is how both people know that they're committed and they're going to keep moving together in the future. If you're giving ministry resources or business resources to people who are unwilling to commit, you're just going to have to continue to give that forever, and they're still never going to commit. So the question is, at what point are we enabling and just taking all of the things God has given us to steward and just, what do you want to say? Don't cast your pearls to swine. At what point are we just overgiving and enabling people who don't want to change their life or move forward or know God? It's at the point when we should have a call to action. Follow me and I will make you fishers of men. Go and give away all your possessions to the poor and then follow me. Let the dead bury their own dead. Come and follow me. All of these calls to action require a difficult choice. And if the answer is no, we care about you, we love you, and also we're going over here. You still have an open invitation to join. And that is what a call to action does. It separates the people who are willing to commit from the people who are not. And then who do we continue to give our resources to the people who commit? So there's a little theology there behind the marketing funnel. We see Jesus using and employing these types of strategies to figure out who it is he's going to be investing in and to what degree he's investing. And so I would say you want to give that call to action, very clear, singular call to action. And how do you choose this? How do you structure this? We have an entire course on this in the Ministry-Minded Strategy course. Please check that out. That's probably one of the most important courses we have on the back end. I have been told it's like drinking out of a fire hydrant, so I do apologize, but go and check that out. And that's going to tell you how do you structure this. And so call to action. And a call to action is a clear, concise request for action. And the answer is not an open-end question. What do you think about doing this? No. It's like, marry me. The answer is yes or no. And that is going to decide the future of the relationship from that point forward. There is no going, there's no going back. This is a clench moment, and we need to figure out which way we're going. So that is the call to action. And that is the end of the marketing funnel. Now, on a website, let me see if I have something pulled up. I do not. We'll map this onto a website, for example. Okay, and we'll just go over here to the ClickMill website. And so on our homepage, we're testing this course platform. This is something we've been doing for about 2 months at this point while I'm filming. And we have all this information. Take your calling to the next level. We're testing different headlines to see what seems to meet the need of people like yourself. And who we're talking to. Please let me know in the comments. Who are you? Why did you decide to sign up for this course? Help me figure out who we're talking to. And what need is it meeting? But either way, So take your calling to the next level and do this. And look, we're building the relationship. And here's me. And it's, oh, hey, maybe that guy kind of knows what he's talking about. And oh, look, oh, it's actually, maybe it looks kind of high quality. Okay. So there's an actual real service on the back end. And they've got pictures of books and we get guaranteed money back. And so we're building the relationship to just let people say, you know what? I think I can handle the free course. Let's go on the first date. Call to action, get my free account. If there is no call to action, nobody can follow you because there's nowhere to follow you to. You're not going anywhere. You haven't said, I'm in Hawaii. So it's like, we're going to the beach. Let's go. Nobody can follow me to the beach if I don't tell them I'm going. So we have to have a call to action in our marketing strategy. No call to action is a passive strategy. You're hoping people will figure it out, and people do not have the time to try to read our minds, and they don't have the bandwidth because they have lives, and also nobody wants to figure it out. They just don't care enough. They'll go somewhere where someone else tells them what's the next step. So if we have too many calls to action, say more than 2, they're going to be confused. And it's like, well, what do you really want me to do? If you go to your website, and this is just another way to apply this marketing funnel, we'll probably talk about this more later. And you go to your website and you have 37 calls to action, you'll see, get my free account. And what do you not see on here? Follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, and also, share us and all these other things. Get your marketing services, get your, whatever all these things are. People can't think through that many things. They need one option. It needs to be easy, and it needs to be proportionate to the level of trust they have in you. So why do we have a free option on the homepage? Because I know 99.9% of the 50,000 people that hit our website every month have never been to our website. And that means, hey, so glad you're here. Let's go on a first date. But if 99% of people on my website had already purchased, and I know 10% of my audience would pay 10 times more, let's book out a conference center here in Kaneohe and let's all get together and have a giant marketing conference. And, it's only $10,000 a head. That would be the next step. So we have to know who our audience is and what the step is there on. Again, that is much more fleshed out in the strategy, ministry-minded strategy training. So check that out. We're going to end here on this video, and we're going to continue to go into depth on the marketing funnel, but we've covered connect, convert, close, and then call to action. I want to build that relationship, call them to action. And if they say no, it's okay, because those aren't the people that God's called us to anyway. With that, God bless. I'll see you in the very next video.